little bit closer there to that mic when we're talking, so that way we get you nice and loud.
We got it?
Yeah, even a little
closer.
bit.
All right.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
There we go. We're here. Hope we have volume there.
All right.
And thank you to Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring the KRIM Community Spotlight Program. Good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio. Hoping that you're having a great Tuesday morning and enjoying that cooler weather. Well, this weekend we have an exciting event happening here in Rim Country, and it is taking place at Plant Fair Nursery in Star Valley. And to tell us more about that event and other things that are going on at Plant Fair Nursery is owner Glenn McCombs. Good morning, Glenn.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
Are you enjoying the cooler weather?
I love this cooler weather. Fall is the best.
It is the best, isn't it? I agree with you, sir. It is the best. It's nice, you know. We had a lot of rain this year. Wow, that rain was, it must be great for the plants.
Oh yeah, the plants just love it. You know, I had a rocket scientist tell me that our atmosphere is 76% nitrogen.
Mm-hmm.
So when the rain comes down, it grabs that nitrogen and gets on the plants, and that's why the plants always look so much better, because they're just fed a good natural nitrogen.
Wow.
And just perks them right up and makes them grow, and
Yeah.
that's why. So the more rain we get, the better those plants like it.
Yeah, they certainly are looking good, and yeah, and it feels good. It feels good. I guess the only one of the negatives, I guess, the mosquitoes, the bugs, and I guess does it bring out in general more bugs in general?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's trying to survive, so of course it likes it when the weather's nice. And although for us, bugs all go away in the fall.
Yes.
So we have summer bugs. They all love the plants, and
Mhm.
everything from beetles to mosquitoes to Lord knows what,
Mm-hmm.
all attack us. And no-see-ums were really bad this
yeah.
year. So
Yeah.
we'll all be glad when they go away. I got welts all over my legs. You know.
Ankles. Do they go after your ankles
They're
as well?
ankle biters.
Ankle biters. Yeah, those no-see-ums. They're
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this weekend, Saturday, Customer Appreciation Event. Is this the first one since?
No, actually,
COVID?
always since the
Since
pandemic,
COVID.
yes.
Yeah.
We used to have them every single year, but
Mhm.
we decided not to, just because there were so many people that were afraid of being breathed on or
Mhm.
whatever, even though
Yeah.
we did have a lot of business during those pandemic times, because people didn't have much of anything else to do. So fortunately, they went out and took care of the yards and
Yeah.
planted trees, and
There you go.
because we were a lot of space, they were
Mhm.
able to stay away from us. So,
Mm-hmm.
but we decided, because of the nature of our business, not to have those customer appreciation or invite people into close proximity.
Mhm.
So, but this is the first year since then, and we're kind of excited about it.
Yeah.
We decided to go ahead and put it with a garlic fest.
Oh,
And
wow.
the reason is because a lot of people are interested in garlic for whatever reason. It's just everywhere. It's all over TikTok, and it's all over Instagram, and you know, the people are putting in their garlic. There's new garlic growers. Seems like they're springing up all over the place. So
Mm.
where we get our garlic happens to be out of Idaho,
Mhm.
but nonetheless, they're kind of everywhere. But the guys down at Geisela Farms,
Mhm.
Rom,
Mm-hmm.
he grew a lot of garlic this year, and we got talking about showing people how to do garlic, because a lot of folks just really don't know how to grow or how to plant garlic. So we got him as a speaker. Actually, he's going to be our first speaker, and he's talking about let's see, I have it right here. He's talking about all about garlic.
Mhm.
You know, the different kinds of garlic, and actually how he grows it himself. And then Rich Johnson, who is one of the best volunteers that I've ever seen. He volunteers for absolutely everything and probably too much. He's going to talk about how he grows garlic and how he's successful. He was a real big winner at the Gila County Fair this year.
Oh, wow.
With onions and that sort of thing. Biggest onions I've ever seen. And
Wow.
yeah, and they're good too.
Mhm.
Good sweet onions. And then Leslie Cook, who is actually she's a plant-based cook. And she has evidently gone, I don't know if you call her vegan or not exactly what she is, but she eats all plant-based foods.
Mm-hmm.
And she cooks with garlic. So she's going to come out and she's going to have her little stove and she's going to mix up, so I'm not sure what as of right now. She's going to mix some food and give, I'm not sure, I'm sure there'll be samples so you can taste it like that. Anyway, those are going on. They're going to do it probably about 15 minutes apiece, so it's not going to be long and drawn out, at 9 and 11 on Saturday.
Okay, so it'll start, the speakers will be speaking twice on Saturday.
Yes.
First time at 9 a.m. And it should last approximately 45 minutes to
half hour to 45 minutes.
Half hour to 45 minutes.
They're making it fast, just giving good direct information, and I'm sure they'd still be around for questions.
And then they'll speak again at 11 in the morning, and again about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and like Glenn said, they should be around to answer questions or talk about garlic. I'm sure if they have that love for garlic, that they'll be willing to talk to people about garlic and help them out in growing their own garlic.
Yes.
Wow. So Rich Johnson, he's been in a few times with the plant club, I believe, or the
garden club.
Garden club, the garden club, and he always just is involved in so much with the garden club, with planting, with all the sales they do, community garden, everything. So
he's very knowledgeable. It all comes from his experience. So,
wow.
That's what's really valuable. He's done it, so you can depend on what he says.
Yeah. So I think back, and we were talking a little before the program, the customer appreciation event that you've been doing for a while. You were doing that for a while. So those that are listening or watching on Facebook, if you remember going out to the event years ago, it's exciting that it's going to be back again, where you can go and hang out, listen to these speakers, learn. And that's the thing. I think probably everyone agrees that it seems like every time you head out to Plant Fair Nursery, you're learning something.
We try to give the information as best we can.
And well, there's so much. There's so much to learn about. So much information out there, and on growing.
The real beauty of the customer appreciation too is we are bringing back Kathy's cinnamon rolls.
Oh.
And she just makes the most fabulous cinnamon rolls ever. And so she's bringing those, and there's going to be, of course, those are free, and we're going to have coffee to go along with it in the morning.
Now, is that Kathy that used to?
No, Kathy that worked for us, but not Kathy Shaw. This is Kathy Branson.
Branson.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And she's just famous for her
cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls. Yeah. So I know you got to make it out there just to have a cinnamon roll.
And you'll have coffee.
Coffee
to
too.
Go with the cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, not from the old place we used to get it, but
no.
It'll be but be good coffee.
Yeah.
So I'm not making it myself.
When
I'm making myself is terrible.
It's have to maybe that's when you retire. Maybe you can look into a coffee class, learning about coffee, making coffee. That can be something.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Coffee is very interesting. There's a lot to coffee as well. So
I'm sure you know that.
A little bit about it. So you're going to be talking about garlic this Saturday, and a customer appreciation event going on. This time of the year, what are people, with their gardens, what are they looking at right now? What are they doing? Or is there any planting that can happen here in the fall?
Well, sure. Actually, the fall is really the very best time to plant. People always wait till spring. Mostly we wait till spring to plant because that's when the juices are flowing. We've had cabin fever probably all of December and January where we're just really nothing much to do outside except maybe dream about what's going to happen in the spring.
Yeah.
And these catalog folks, they send out catalogs that give these beautiful pictures of cherries and apples and flowers, lilacs, and all that kind of stuff. So you kind of get your juices flowing. But actually, if you were to plant in the fall, you almost gain a whole year. So what happens if you put a fruit tree in the ground in the fall? It sits there and just roots out all winter long. Even though there's no activity up on top and no leaves, it's still rooting out. So it's well established by the time spring comes along. When spring comes, it starts putting on its new leaves. Then it's healthier. It isn't just getting its start. It's already on its way, and so it's a great time to plant, especially fruit trees. That's apples, peaches, plums, cherries, all of them. And of course, in rim country, our best fruit is apple.
Apple.
Because we get late frost, and most of the time apples can squeak through, kind of depending on where you live. So like down where we are in the hollow down there in Star Valley, we do get apples, but we don't get much of anything else. Like I lost all of our cherries this year. The cherry tree is fantastic, still beautiful.
Oh, yes.
But there's no cherries on it after the May 23rd freeze. So we just kind of expect that. Last year we had a lot of cherries. So we just have to kind of look at it that way, like it's a real plus, a real bonus if we do get fruit. Except we do get a lot of apples. Matter of fact, I think right now there's more on the ground than there is. We just can't eat them all.
Wow.
They're falling off the tree. So anyway, fall is a great time to plant, and anything that goes dormant, like lilacs and any kind of a flowering shrub. You plant it in the fall, then it has its best possibility to bloom in the spring.
Okay.
So, good time.
Yeah, and apple trees. What are the different types of apple trees you have at the
Well,
nursery down there?
the grow out here, I probably can't remember every one of them, but the most popular is Red Delicious and Yellow Delicious.
Okay.
We always recommend Yellow Delicious because it seems to be the pollinator for all reds.
Oh.
But we've got lots of really neat ones like Honeycrisp, which is
Yeah.
really, really good, and is just within the last few years has kind of taken over as the number one most popular. Just a side story, the nurseries we had back in Canada, they have cleaned the fields and planted all Honeycrisp. They have hundreds and hundreds of Honeycrisp apples now. We no longer own it, but the new owners have gone in there and planted all Honeycrisp just based on the popularity of that stuff. It's a great apple. And the tree isn't huge. It's kind of a semi-dwarf tree naturally, so they don't have to prune them way, way back, and they don't have to have huge ladders to pick them.
Heck,
You know,
yeah.
it's all within their range. But there's a lot of others too. There's Gala and Fuji and Pink Lady, and I mean, there's a whole lot of them. The way you look at fruit is number one here in the rim country would be apple. Number two is pear, if you're going to get success, if you're going to get fruit. And then number three is cherry. Then after that we go into stone fruits, which seem to be the most susceptible to that frost, that late frost, like peaches and plums and apricots. And if you look around in early spring, the very first blooms you see is either a plum or an apricot. And that always happens. It can happen as early as late April, maybe even early May, when we're almost guaranteed to get cold again mid to late May. So that's what happens to those. There are a lot of things you can do to keep the fruit on it. Like you can cover them, keep your tree small enough that you can cover it up. Or one fellow over in Round Valley for years, he put like a PVC house over top of his fruit tree.
Oh, wow.
And put plastic on it, threw a light bulb in there, and anytime it was going to freeze in the next morning, just threw a light bulb in there when it was blooming at the same time, and sure enough, he always had fruit. It didn't look that great, but nonetheless, he had fruit every year.
Wow. Wow. Huh.
So lots of ways you can get around it.
Yeah, and those Honeycrisp, you're right, they are such good apples.
Yeah.
Real nice, firm, and that's what the crispness to them.
More crisp than Red Delicious.
Yeah.
The trouble with Red Delicious is what you buy in the store they call Schoolboy, and those were grown up in Washington, probably the main place that they were grown. And but they sprayed those with Alar, which changed the shape actually of the apple, and didn't change the flavor or the kind of the not really that crisp, but it made them look a little bit different. So they called them schoolboy, like what the schoolboy would pick an apple and take it to his teacher. Yeah, yeah. So. But when you get it at home, it doesn't look like that. It's actually better. It's better for you. It's more round and not quite as long. So that's the apple you would get at home. A lot of folks come in, and not a lot, but I've had a few folks come in and say, "Well, the Red Delicious you sold me doesn't look like what I get in the store." Well, that's right, because you're not spraying it. You're coming up with a natural, good tasting apple.
There you go.
Yeah.
So again, this Saturday, starting at, I believe, the speakers start at 9. What time do you open on
8:30.
8:30. So Plant Fair Nursery opening at 8:30. Speakers start at 9. And then again, we'll be speaking at 11. And this is the Customer Appreciation Day along with Garlic Fest.
Yeah.
So again, Glenn, telling us, and well, it's everywhere. Garlic, I guess you're seeing it all over the place. People really into garlic. I mean, garlic is it's so good for you. And can be used in so many dishes or so many ways. So
it adds to just about everything. I mean, I'm sure there are people who don't like garlic, but everybody I talk to is all gaga about different kinds of garlic. The other thing that we're having too is we are giving away a gas barbecue grill.
Oh wow!
So that one, all you have to do is come in and just put your name and your phone number on a piece of paper and put it in, and we'll draw toward the end of the day. And you don't have to be there to win. We'll give you a call, and if you answer the phone, and it's yours to come get.
All right.
So it's a real nice Napoleon gas grill, real kind of a high dollar one. Actually, we got it for our customer appreciation the first day of the pandemic, the first year of the pandemic.
Yes.
And we never had our event, so it's been sitting there all this time. So.
Wow. Hey, just waiting for someone to win it.
Waiting for someone to win. Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be fired up and and used. So what else do you have at the nursery right now that is good for people to plant?
Well, of course, there's veggies. We're getting down toward the end of time to plant our vegetable plants like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and that sort of thing. Because as we get colder, they'll survive the cold, but they'll also slow down to where it takes a while then to get your crop on. So you can still plant things like lettuce and things that you're just going to eat, the leafy greens. Those would be okay to go ahead and still put in. So although they'll be slower, but the main thing is pansies. So we have that's our only winter flowering plant. Is pansies, and been very, very successful here. Lots of people plant them, and it gives you some kind of color all winter long when everything else is kind of bleak. So you can put them up in pots, you can put them in the ground anywhere you want. We always plant them right at the barrel, right inside the gate as you come into the nursery, and those can be under 3 feet of snow, and we brush the snow back, and they're still in bloom underneath all that snow. So tough plant. Ill-named plant. They're not pansies.
No, they're very hardy. they're tough little buggers. And so, how are they with elk? Do the elk like those?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Doggone it. There's always a spoiler.
Sorry.
So, got to keep them up on the porch, or if you have an elk problem, or someplace where they can't get them. They're in javelina. They like them, so they'll keep them neatly trimmed for you. That's for sure if you got them. So
I'd imagine, they'll take all the color.
Yeah, that's right. Well, pansies are in gourmet restaurants like in LA. They put pansy blooms and viola blooms right in with their salads.
Oh wow!
So those in nasturtiums they have kind of a little flavor, but they add color to an otherwise just all green salad or whatever. It adds a little bit of to it. And you can do the same thing, just pick them right off and eat them. Unless you use some kind of an insecticide, they'd just be good just right off the plant. Yeah.
So to protect the pansies, you're saying really it's just a matter of keeping them up or keeping them in a place where javelina or elk just can't get to them. Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of folks have fenced backyards, and that's the ideal place to put them. And usually up on porches where they may be leery to come. Although we've heard stories, but
oh wow,
elk that aren't leery at all. So,
quite brazen.
And we have a lot of elk here, unfortunately. Our herd is getting bigger and bigger, it seems.
How is it? Are the elk? Is it the same in Star Valley? As Payson?
Yeah. Well, the nursery itself is totally fenced.
Okay.
But we have a herd that roams. The knolls is right behind us,
Yeah.
and they roam the knolls all the time. There's a beautiful bull and his harem who just kind of walk by our back fence almost every single day.
Yeah.
And it goes into the Star Valley Park, into the McDaniel Park, and they're beautiful sight, but we have to have them fenced or they'd have a lunch.
A heyday! Oh my gosh! Just thinking about that, it's you're like a giant restaurant for the elk and javelina, and boy, if they did get in there, oh my goodness!
Yeah, we just use a simple elk fence. It's black in color, and you really can't see it. It doesn't, light up like an orange one or even a chain link or whatever. It's barely noticeable. And I mean, if you concentrate, you can see it. But the elk, they have good eyes. They know it's there, and they don't even get close.
Wow. So, and how tall?
It's just under 7.5 feet. Just under 8 feet. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because they can jump 8 feet or 7 feet.
Yeah, that would be bad news. I tell you. So again, Saturday, out at Plant Fair Nursery, Customer Appreciation and Garlic Fest. And is this the first time you've done the Garlic Fest?
Yes. Yeah, okay. Well, we all went crazy for garlic, and I brought in all kinds of garlic. They're planting garlic at the community gardens, and so we decided, but there was decided to go ahead and have it kind of an educational kind of thing, because a lot of questions are, well, how do you plant garlic? Where do you plant garlic? How deep do you plant garlic? How many cloves are in the garlic plant? So traditionally there's like 6 to 8 different cloves in the garlic that we sell, and each one of those cloves is going to become a garlic plant, which will turn into a garlic bulb next summer. And so lots of folks just had no idea how to get it. So we thought, well, since garlic is so popular and right now, that we'd show people how to do it and how to have their own garlic in their own backyard, or even in pots. They grow well in pots, really anywhere you want them. So that was the main reason why we're having the Garlic Fest. We'll find out if it's popular. We may have it again. If not, well then we may move on to something else.
And speakers will be there, 3 speakers to tell you all about garlic, how to grow garlic, products, the best products to help grow garlic, and also cooking with garlic.
Right.
So again, just a lot of information about garlic, but also information about all the different plants that Plant Fair Nursery has. That information is always available, always free to your customers.
Right.
Again, it is a big reason why so many people go into Plant Fair Nursery, not only for the plants and the quality plants, but to get information, and they have questions answered to give them the best chances of being successful with their planting.
That is our goal, is to make people successful. We want all of our plants to live. We want them all to grow, and we want them all to look good.
Yeah.
And so those people who are willing to go through the steps, and it's not really a lot of steps, it's mostly just care to have a real nice landscape. Also wanted to mention that bulbs are available now. One of our best sellers, and animals don't like it, elk don't eat it, and javelina don't root it up, is King Alfred daffodils, or Dutch Master daffodils. Beautiful yellow flowers, and we have those now. We sell them every fall. A lot of people add to it because it's the first sign of spring. When you start seeing daffodils popping out of the ground, you get those yellow flowers.
Yeah.
That kind of turns the switch. It's time to start looking at spring. Yeah.
Wow. So again, a lot happening this Saturday at Plant Fair Nursery, which opens at 8:30. Speakers start at 9. And what time are you open until on Saturday?
Till 5.
Until 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to get down there early to hear the speakers, again, speaking at 9 and again at 11. Also, you want to be down there in the morning for Kathy's world famous cinnamon rolls.
That's right.
So if you go in the afternoon, I don't think there'll be any cinnamon
Rarely
rolls left.
is there any left.
Yeah.
I think anybody who has been there before. As a matter of fact, I told somebody about our event, and the very first thing they said, "Oh, are you going to have a Kathy cinnamon roll?" I said, "Yeah." And they go, "I'll be there."
No, that's funny.
Yeah.
No, that is good. Anything else that you want to mention that you'll have out there, or anything else that is popular right now? Or?
Well, we do have our onesie twosie sale,
Mm-hmm.
and what we do with that is there's plants that we've had that we've carried all summer long, and it always winds up that there's one of this and two of that, and maybe they kind of needed to be in the ground, so we put them on sale. And they'll be on sale, and they're all in a big area. We call it a corral.
Okay.
In a big corral, and they'll have a red spot of paint on them so that the cashier knows that these are going to be on sale. And there's quite a few things in there. So there's some trees, and there's some perennials, and some roses, and really a smoking deal. So actually we have had that sale every single year. It helps us clear out, helps people get some good plants cheap.
Yeah.
And but it helps us get cleaned out too, so that we can get prepared for winter.
There you go. So that's the onesie twosie.
Onesie twosie
Corral.
Yeah.
Check out those
Onesie
guys.
of this and twosie of that.
Also, I know you've been sharing on the Plant Fair Nursery Facebook page all the different items that you're getting in, and some really cool things in the gift shop too.
The gift shop is just really got neat stuff. Right now they have these real intricate tree of life hearts. Boy, they're really, really nice. And I'm not a tchotchke type person, but my wife is. And boy, I'll tell you, they've really brought in some nice stuff. Some big wall hangings that are just beautiful. Of course, T-shirts. We have Sabaku T-shirts, which are all from down in Tucson. And the lady who owns Sabaku does her own designs, so they're extremely unique. You won't find them anywhere else except for places that sell Sabaku.
Wow.
And they're really high quality. We got those, and there's a bunch of stuff in there. And of course, we always do our cabin decor, which is bears and little tchotchkes and hanging tchotchkes and things that you can use to decorate your cabin. A lot of folks from out of town, of course, have their summer places up here, and although they may be closing them up now, but still the gift shop is, especially for gift items. There are things you just can't find elsewhere.
Yes, and speaking of gifts, 75 days.
75
5 days. That's the number of days until Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I know.
I hadn't even thought about Thanksgiving yet, so I had a hard time thinking about Christmas.
Well, we're talking about gifts. We're talking about the gift shop at Plant Fair Nursery. So
75 days.
Yeah,
that's just like right around the corner.
It's better sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get some gifts, get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Check those names off your list.
That's right.
That way, you're not scrambling. When there's only 10 days or 5 days, or
that's
getting
a
close.
real good point.
Yeah, so you can head out to, again, Plant Fair Nursery, their customer appreciation event, and Garlic Fest, and that's this Saturday. nursery opens at 8:30, and the speakers start at 9 a.m. They'll go for about a half an hour, 45 minutes. And then if you're not able to get out at that time, they'll also be speaking again at 11. And there's Kathy's cinnamon rolls, can't forget about that, coffee, and also a chance to win a new gas grill, barbecue grill. So yeah, fun time. And again, this Saturday at Playfair Nursery. So thank you, Glenn, for coming on.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I know it'll be a wonderful event out there, and the weather should be, boy, real nice.
They're saying it's going to be perfect, so let's hope that it maintains. We've been happy to get the rain, but we like good weather.
Yes. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Again, thank you to Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring the KRIM Community Spotlight Program, and also thank you for everyone watching. Just wanted to give a shout out real quick to Clifford watching in Illinois, and he was letting us know the leaves are changing there as well. So it is fall. Nice. All right, gonna have some music now from REM, Elton John, Deep Purple, and KRIM. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service.
KRIM weather forecast for Payson and surrounding areas.
Okay.
There we go.
Dry weather through Friday.
All right, guys. See you later.
Monday through Tuesday.